A 2022 Tesla Model Y in Australia has lost nearly 48% of its original value. That means someone else absorbed a $30,000 loss so you could buy their car today for roughly half what they paid. That is not a problem. That is the opportunity. Used EV prices in Australia have dropped more than 20% in the past year alone, putting several once premium models within reach for under $40,000. The BYD Atto 3 is down 39% from its original price. Cars that were out of reach 18 months ago are sitting on CarSales right now for the price of a basic Camry. And unlike a basic Camry, they cost almost nothing to run. In this video, we are going to show you exactly why the used EV market in Australia in 2026 is one of the best car buying opportunities most Australians have ever seen. We are going to cover the real numbers on depreciation, running costs, the FBT exemption most people do not know applies to used cars, and the specific models worth looking at right now. By the end of this video, you will know whether a used EV makes financial sense for your situation, and if it does, exactly how to find the right one. A few months ago on this channel, we made a video telling you not to buy a brand new electric car in Australia. The depreciation was brutal. The insurance was expensive. The technology was moving too fast, and the numbers just did not stack up for a new purchase. That video landed. And the most common question we got in the comments was this: so if I should not buy new, what should I buy? The answer right now in mid-2026 is this: a used EV. And the timing has never been better. Here is what has changed. In 2022 and 2023, EVs were genuinely expensive in Australia. The Model Y was pushing $80,000. The BYD Atto 3 launched at around $44,000. The MG4 was not even here yet. Early adopters paid premium prices for the privilege of being first. And then the market shifted. Sharp price cuts on new electric models flowed directly into the second-hand market, with second-hand EV prices in Australia dropping by more than 20%. Chinese brands arrived in volume. BYD, MG, GAC, Chery, all competing aggressively on price. Tesla responded with its own cuts. The result? The early adopters who paid top dollar are now selling their vehicles into a market that has fundamentally repriced what an EV is worth. And the beneficiary of all that pain is you, the buyer, walking in today. Let us put real numbers on this. A 2022 Tesla Model Y rear-wheel drive originally sold in Australia for roughly $73,000. Today, that same car is trading on the used market for between $38,000 and $44,000. That is nearly $30,000 in depreciation absorbed by someone else. You get the same car, the same range, the same supercharger access, the same software updates, for almost half the price. A 2023 BYD Atto 3 Extended in good condition sits around $32,000 to $36,000. That car originally cost north of $44,000. And you can find used MG4 examples on CarSales right now from $29,000 a car that was selling new for over $40,000 just 18 months ago. But here is where it gets really interesting for Australians. It is not just the purchase price. Switching from a mid-size petrol car to an EV saves the average Australian driver $1,600 to $2,400 per year in fuel costs alone. For high-kilometre drivers or large petrol SUV owners, that saving exceeds $3,000 annually. Let us do the maths on a real Australian scenario. You buy a used 2023 BYD Atto 3 for $34,000. Your previous car was a petrol SUV costing roughly $2,640 a year in fuel. Charging the Atto 3 at home on a standard Victorian electricity rate costs around $720 a year for 15,000 kilometres. That is a fuel saving of roughly $1,900 per year. Over 5 years, that is $9,500 in fuel savings alone on a car you paid $10,000 less for than it cost new. Over 5 years and 15,000 kilometres per year, a mainstream EV costs $8,000 to $18,000 less to own than an equivalent petrol SUV when you include fuel, servicing, tyres, insurance and depreciation. And if you have rooftop solar, which Australia has at one of the highest rates in the world, daytime EV charging can approach zero marginal cost, dropping annual charging costs to $100 to $200 for most drivers. That is a fuel bill of about $3.50 a week. Now here is the part of this video that most Australians do not know. The FBT exemption, the government tax concession that allows eligible employees to package an electric vehicle through a novated lease with serious pre-tax savings, does not only apply to new cars. A second-hand electric vehicle may still qualify for the FBT exemption, provided its original owner first held and used the vehicle after the fund's July 2022 commencement date. That means a 2023 BYD Atto 3, a 2023 Tesla Model Y, a 2023 MG4, all potentially eligible. A $55,000 EV novated lease saves a Melbourne employee on a $100,000 salary approximately $5,000 to $8,000 per year compared to buying the same car outright after tax. Over a 3-year term, that is a total saving of roughly $15,000 to $24,000. Run a used EV through a novated lease and you are stacking 3 advantages at once: the depreciation discount on the purchase price, the fuel savings versus petrol, and the pre-tax salary packaging benefit. That combination is genuinely powerful. And the full FBT exemption runs unchanged until 31 March 2027, then narrows. So the window to maximize all 3 at once is open right now, but it is not open forever. There are things worth knowing before you go shopping. Battery health is the most important number to check on any used EV. A well-maintained lithium battery from 2022 or 2023 in an Australian climate should still be at 85 to 90% of its original capacity. Most EVs will show you the current battery health through the car's own display or a connected app. If a seller cannot show you a battery health reading, or if the car shows below 80%, factor that into your offer or walk away. Charging speed matters for your lifestyle. A 2022 MG ZS EV has a relatively slow AC-only charging setup. A 2023 BYD Atto 3 or Tesla Model Y charges significantly faster. If you are doing long trips regularly, make sure the car you are looking at has DC fast charging capability, not just AC home charging. Software and hardware generations are something to check but not panic about. The 2023 model year cars are still well within a current technology window. Battery chemistry, range, and features from 2022-2023 models are not outdated. Unlike a phone, an EV from 3 years ago does not feel like a 3-year-old phone. And service history. EVs have far fewer mechanical components than petrol cars: no oil changes, no timing belts, no exhaust system. But check for any collision history through PPSR and ask for a full service logbook where one exists. So which models are worth looking at right now? The used Tesla Model Y is the most well-known and has the best supercharger network access in Australia. A well-maintained 2023 Model Y long range is priced at $52,000 to $56,000, one of the better value retention stories in the EV segment. The standard rubbered 2022 to 2023 models sit at $38,000 to $44,000 depending on kilometers and condition. Strong resale value, excellent charging network, proven reliability. The 2023 BYD Atto 3 at $32,000 to $36,000 represents outstanding value for a family-sized SUV with a solid real-world range and BYD's well-regarded blade battery technology. Servicing costs are low. Parts availability is strong given BYD's growing Australian dealer network. The 2023 MG4 is available from around $29,000 on the used market for a modern rear-wheel drive hatchback with genuine range, a solid warranty, and one of the most practical everyday EVs on the Australian market. At that price point, it is genuinely competing with used Corollas and Mazda 3s on sticker price while running at a fraction of the fuel cost. The honest summary is this. A year ago, a used EV in Australia was a gamble. Prices were unstable, supply was thin. And the gap between used and new was not wide enough to justify the risk. That has changed in 2026. Second-hand EV prices have fallen more than 20%. Charging infrastructure has grown substantially. The vehicles themselves have 3 years of reliability data behind them. And the FBT exemption potentially applies to used vehicles first held and used after July 2022. The first video told you not to buy new. This one is telling you what to do instead. Buy used. Buy smart. Let someone else take the depreciation hit. And start paying $3.50 a week in fuel instead of $60. Subscribe to Money Made Australia for more honest Australian money breakdowns. And comment below, are you considering a used EV right now, or are you still on the fence? Because after this video, I think the fence gets a lot harder to sit on.